Hi, everybody. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's vlog post. This is the last week of October, so here's the last session, part 4 of business planning for 2023. Now, in the first 3 sections, we've covered first doing the assessment of where we were. The second session was the destination, where we'd like to be going. The third, we talked about the plan and how we were going to get there. And the fourth is kind of where it all comes together. It's the piece that may ideally be the most important, which is actually scheduling the tasks, the work, the activities, and the time that you're going to do them. And I think this is so overlooked by people who business plan, who come up with great business plans, but fail to actually have a schedule of implementation. They fail to commit to where and when they're going to do things. And I talk all the time about, Major League Baseball. We've got all of these teams all over the country, all needing to play 162 games in the regular season. Nobody says, okay, we're going to start in April, come back in October, tell us how you made out. What they do is they take all those teams and they break them up into leagues and divisions, and then they create a schedule based upon those leagues, those divisions, and, largely location and the number of times each teams are going to play each other, because they don't all play each other the same number of games. And in fact, some teams don't play other teams in baseball at all during the course of the regular season. So what happens is they create a schedule, time, places, locations of where those games are to take place. And for the most part, better than 99% of all the games that are scheduled happen between the two teams exactly where and when they were supposed to take place. Now, there are rainouts, there are postponements, there's any number of reasons that games may not take place when they were supposed to. But however, those games simply get rescheduled. But by and large, of the thousands and thousands of games that need to get played every year in Major League Baseball, better than 99% of them actually happen where and when, and to their proper conclusion, better than 99% of the time. So imagine if you looked at your business plan and you said to yourself, I could get 99 or better than 99% of my plan accomplished exactly where and when I wanted it to, just by simply scheduling the tasks, by simply scheduling the work, and then holding myself accountable or having someone else hold me accountable to actually doing it. So think about that as you go to prepare this schedule. If you're not going to commit to this schedule, and again, it doesn't have to be a clean run through the first time you do it. You can work on it, you can reevaluate it, you can move things around. Nothing is set in stone. There are possibilities of, well, if I scheduled something for 10 o'clock in the morning, it may have to be rescheduled till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or maybe the next day. But the reality of it is the opportunity to create a schedule where largely, a significant amount of the work will happen exactly when it's supposed to happen if you just make sure that it's scheduled. So keep that in mind as you're looking at this going forward. Now, all of these things, the scheduling advantage, the talk about the referral triangle, a lot of this stuff, you can find it in the website under the personal development page. Most of the people who are watching this are already clients and already subscribers to the website. But even if you're not, if you're seeing this on Facebook or YouTube, you can go into the website at imtcoaching.com and you can click on the thumbnails. The thumbnails are free to view. You don't have to pay a subscription fee to have access to it. It'll give you an idea of the concept that I'm talking about in each section. And so you can look at it. And again, if you want more information, you can look at it. Pricing is very reasonable for the content that's in there. At least I feel that way. And always, if you have questions, you can email me. But understanding the base premise of what I talk about is something that has worked, across the country with all sorts of different loan officers and all sorts of different markets who generate business in all kinds of different ways. And so the personal development page is just that. It supports the other parts of the referral triangle. I like to think of the personal development piece as the center of the referral triangle. It's taking care of yourself. It's making sure you're surrounding yourself with tasks and opportunities that generate the result that you want, always understanding that, you, the individual, needs to come first. And that's why I say, if you read into the referral triangle, if you read into the schedule advantage, many of the tools, many of the suggestions that I've made are all in there, and you can work through them. So with that in mind, here are the questions that you need to ask to navigate the scheduling piece of this. Is my referral triangle in balance? Quite simply, am I making sure that I am touching all sides of the referral triangle? And I've scheduled the fact that, I am going to pay attention to it at least one time a week in my calendar for at least 2 hours in that one day. Have I created a task list for each section? In other words, it's one thing to identify what it is that you want to do, but have you written down and created the specific task list of what you need to do and how you need to do it, and when that has to occur, so that you're clear on the frequency and the content of which that you're going to do. Some things take more time than others. Some things have to be repeated on a daily basis. Some things repeated on a monthly basis. Some things you have to look at once a quarter. The reality of it is, if you're not breaking things down with a task list, it becomes impossible to schedule if you don't have it broken down. Do I have a specific focus of each day of the week? I don't think anything can be more critical than actually looking at it and reminding ourselves that, okay, Monday I'm focusing on my realtor relationships, and Tuesday I'm focusing on, other professionals, and Wednesday I'm working on my database, and Thursday I'm back to working my database of people or my social media accounts, and Friday I'm back to following up with my realtors. These things become critically important because it sets the frame of mind. You just have to think back to when you were a kid and you had certain things on certain days, whether it be art class or music or gym class, or maybe you had a sports activity that happened on certain days of the week. You look forward to those days. You were excited about those days when those days came, or they were put in a place, and you built the rest of your routine around them. That becomes incredibly important, and it works really well. Do I have a preference as to what I do and when? And I mean that by, all people are different. Some people react better in the morning. Some people are more midday people. Some people are better in the late day or the evening. Some people don't want to get near their office until 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Other people, like myself, are on my way to my desk by 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. It's really important that you know these things, where and when you like to do the things that you want to do, where you find them most valuable, because sometimes the time of the day is almost as important, or maybe even more important, than as to actually completing the task. When do I prefer to manage the 3 areas of activity? Am I doing what I need to do each day? Am I making sure that the 3 things that we do as originators is prospecting for new business, processing the business that comes to me, and managing the communications of the first 2? If those things, those tasks, are not put into my schedule, if I don't create little buckets of time, if you will, so I know to put the tasks appropriately in there, if I don't know that I'm supposed to be prospecting 2 hours a day every day, then how would you ever do it? And by the way, most loan officers don't. They tell you that they spend a great deal of time prospecting, but when they actually write down what they've actually done and how long it actually took and what the results were of having done it, it turns out not to be so much. When do I plan on working in my business? And that is the difference. There's a difference between working in your business and working on your business. when you're looking, you know, at your business, you're in your business when you're working on your referral triangle pieces. When you're doing your personal development items, the tasks like business planning and scheduling and all that other stuff, you're working on your business. There's a difference between working in your business and on your business. Both of them are important, but they have to be scheduled. Am I committed to those 2 hours a day of prospecting? Again, I said before, most loan officers aren't. I talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of loan officers, and they tell me, "Oh, I prospect. I do this. I do that." And when you break it all down, it doesn't get anywhere near 10 to 12 hours a week that you should be spending prospecting. They act like they're doing a lot of things, but in reality, not so much. Do I have 1 hour each week to schedule, measure, and track the business that's happened, from new contacts to credit pulls to applications to files sent to processing to closings to post-closing follow-ups to growing the number of people in my database to growing the number of contacts in social media to growing the number of referral partner meetings and conversations and numbers of referral partners and opportunities. Am I scheduling my vacations? Again, most importantly, 4 vacations a year, 2 weeks, unconnected and untethered to your work, 3 long weekend vacations, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. Got to happen, got to be on your calendar, got to be something to look forward to. And do I have an accountability partner that helps me stay on track and helps keep me focused? Because this gets a lot easier when you have an accountability partner. Completing these 4 sections should really get you to the point where all of this can become viable, practical, and developing a specific plan of action that will build your business and something you can build around you to help you succeed. Now, don't worry if things don't work out right away. It's like everything else. It's like your first day of school in a new school with new classes and new teachers and a new building. It's a lot to handle the first few days, first few weeks. But after a while, you get used to the routine, you get used to where things are, you become very comfortable. And as always, you have to be committed to making it happen. And as I've said before, this is only creating the path by which you can be successful. You've actually got to roll up your sleeves and do the work. Start to finish, each one of these sections shouldn't take more than 20 minutes to an hour to do. Business plan complete, anywhere between 1 and 4 hours worth of work to get this squared away and focused on implementing. And it can change your life. And if you can't find an accountability partner, if you're having trouble, if you don't understand, it's Mike at imtcoaching.com, and I'd love to help you get through this process. If you're a manager with a team, and maybe this is something you want to see through a site visit where we can come and work together and help you establish, business plans with your people, or even for yourself to stay on top of your LOs so that you can be their accountability partner, reach out, let me know. Maybe we can work something out so that we can get together before the end of the year and help you build your path. Because again, as I've said before, and I'll say again, you got to be doing something today. It's going to help improve your tomorrow. Take care.